I swear I look like a serial killer in that last picture.
Yeah. Okay. Unabomber.
Okay. I just threw it on real quick. Thug life. No.
Terrible. All right, Shahida, you just froze, but here we are. You'll come back. Oh no, you're back now, so we good. Welcome to another episode of Still Dope, y'all. Here we are. It's Friday, TGIF. We got our girl Vanessa in the house. Vanessa's in the house. Hey. Oh, it's a Married at First Sight Friday, and oof, this is a good episode. Okay. Who are we gonna start with first? Vanessa, we'll let you call it. Who you want to talk about first?
Well, who's packing up first? Because he basically Pastor gave Dominique and Mac their marching orders, like, you're wasting my time, get on with it. And also Ginger and Salon.
Clint and Gina.
Yeah, like, you're wasting my time. What are you gonna do? I love the fact that he was like, come on, you're wasting my time. So you're saying right now you're gonna hold, is this a divorce now or whatever? So well, and of course we see the teaser of Dominique walking out with the box. They're just not exciting anymore because they're not into it at all. And I think Clint is like, he's trying. He actually is like, let's work through some stuff, but she's done. So I don't need to see them anymore. I need to see either of them. And I don't think Mac, and I know I'm jumping back over both of them, and he doesn't seem like a serial killer to me anymore. He just seems like...
Okay, so all right, so let's start.
Wait. Why does he not seem like a serial killer to you anymore?
Because it seems like he's actually trying to appeal a little.
I'm getting the opposite. I'm getting the opposite when it comes to him and her. Like, to me, this episode, all he did was whine.
Like
and you thought she was the whiner?
Yep.
I don't know.
Okay.
I felt like all he.
Okay. I'm unleashing my inner Whoopi. I'm unleashing my inner Whoopi Goldberg right now from the View.
Okay.
As moderator. Let's start with Dominique and Mackenzie, or McKinley, or whatever his name is. I can't remember. But Chris, all right, whose team are we on? Before we start getting into the debate with the two of them, who's team Dom and who's team Mac?
I'm team Mac.
I'm team Dom.
I'm
Mac just because she.
But I would say for this episode, I would probably. What?
Girl, you are freezing the child.
Dominique's blocking you right now.
Is it me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't. Let me go, keep talking. Keep talking.
Okay. So all right. So I'll start. I am team Dominique because she is trying to pull everything out of him. And on top of the fact, I watched the after party.
Right.
Yeah.
And she was dropping gems on the after party of how he was acting when the camera was not in play. She was like, let me just put it into context for you. Before Pastor Cal showed up, he went on a 10-minute rant about this and this and this and this and this and what he doesn't like about me and what he expected and what he didn't get.
Not what he doesn't like about her, what he wanted from a wife.
I just said that. And then he didn't what he expected from the professionals that he did not get. And then Pastor Cal shows up. And of course, we get to the cut where Dom is like, oh, you got some explaining to do when Pastor Cal shows up. And she's like, you got some explaining to do. And he's like, what? I don't think so. So I think there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we're not privy to. Hence why we get that on the after party. So I'm team Dominique because if he is showing his ass, I wouldn't stay there either. Don't play this game with me. Either you're going to be, this is what you signed up for, people. We signed up to get married at first sight and have these cameras follow us around. If you're that serious about your privacy, then don't go on the show.
And then if you're so serious about it, then you should be staying with your husband regardless.
I don't know what it is, but this connection is horrible.
Of course it is for you. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you, Chris, that
but she didn't want to stay there. She didn't want to stay there.
But I get that she didn't want to stay there, and I agree with her. I wouldn't have stayed there either. If he was acting simple, I wouldn't want to stay there either. That's just how I am. I got to be comfortable.
Yeah, but you signed up for
him down. She put him down a lot. I mean, what we saw, we didn't see behind the scenes. What we saw on the show was that she kept putting him down like, are you really? You just moved down here. You're making me uncomfortable. I don't see any, any security here. So she kept saying how uncomfortable she was because he was living in a family's friend's house. But then he also was saying, these are people and I've got 2 bedrooms and it's got a nice place for his living situation. That's what he was trying to tell her. But she just seems like you're not fun. You don't do anything. You're not living in Tennessee. You're not my kind of guy. And I saw them both they were both shut down. They both were not giving anything.
I agree. He just seems so shady to me though. Because she makes valid points with him. She's like, you just moved here. Like when he was all butthurt about the dogs. Like if you love your dogs that much, why aren't your dogs here with you? You've been here for 4 or 5 months. Why aren't your dogs with you? If your dogs meant that much to you, your dog should be with you, period. And then the fact, I'm with her on the fact that he's 10 years older than her. And I mean, Pastor Cal and him, and they made it clear that he makes good money. Great. But bro, why are you living in a basement, the basement of your friend's parents' house? She's like, just sign a lease. I didn't agree with her when she was like, why don't you have 5 roommates? Because that's another turn off for me. If you got 5 roommates, no. Right. I can't do that. Not if you're of a certain age, that's problematic for me. But I'm like, I agree with her in the fact that he should be a little bit more established. Like if you really want to be here and bring up roots in Nashville, then sign a lease, bro. Like it's Nashville. We're not in LA. We're not in New York. We're not in Boston. We're not in major cities where the rent is through the roof. He's in Nashville. He can afford that.
Yeah, but if he has a 2-bedroom that he's staying for free with friends, there's no real motivation for him to go out and if he's in a comfortable living space, he's only been there 4 or 5 months. Maybe he's saving up to buy a place. Maybe he's trying to,
But we know that he's not doing that. That's not.
How do we know? I mean, we don't know his reasons why he's staying there, but it's comfortable. He has 2 bedrooms. He's saving money. Maybe he's, I don't know. But I think she's immature. Mm-hmm. I think she's just like, I think she doesn't know how to even acknowledge his feelings of, he's like, you haven't asked me about my dog. Asked me about my dogs, or I don't think she's sensitive to him at all. Right. That's the thing. I don't think there's any sensitivity that she has for him or any compassion or any kind of like, she just like, whatever. He didn't want to go horseback riding. He went. He didn't want to go on the sailing. He went. He did all the excursions. It's not his thing, but he was still doing it. We've gone in past Married at First Sight where someone says, I'm just not going to even go on the horseback ride. I'm just not going to do that. I'll wait here until you go do that. At least he's trying to do that, having him coming out of his shell. He's attempting. I don't see her attempting to do anything for him in terms of, giving him any kind of, she wants to go and do. And he's like, that's not my thing.
The more I listened to her, the more it seems like it was her mom's idea. And she was like, okay, I'll do it. So, and it wasn't after the first couple of days, like, okay, I'm out. It was a great idea. I'm going to get it. Let me just ride up. I don't think it was really her idea.
Yeah. You know what? You're right on that. And you know what? Although I'm still standing for her, but I totally forgot about that, Vanessa, it was her mother that signed her up and did all the paperwork and all the application processes for her. So it could be that she's just trying to appease her mother because her mother made it very clear. I want grandbabies and this and that. So she could be trying to appease her mom. I didn't even think about that. So yeah, but I mean, again,
she's just not interested in him.
She's no.
In him, the experiment. She's just like, I'm just over it. It was fun. It was kind of. She has the attitude of a 20. What 5? You have 25 or 20? 25.
25.
Yeah, she has that 25. Attitude of like whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna live. If it's just like with Clint, he's like, look, I think it's part of the. If we decided to get married to someone, we should at least live together and just to see how that is. And
I agree with you on that.
The same thing with her. She's like, as soon as something, wrong goes, she's just like, whatever, I'm over it. I don't think I've seen one thing that she said to him that was a compliment, that was like nice. She hasn't been nice to him.
Pastor Cal, though, when Pastor Cal was talking to her, she's like, like I can understand. I like his hair. And so she did this whole like physical thing about him that she liked, which was bullshit, obviously she's not digging it.
Yeah. But I'll give her some credit. She packed a bag and moved into the apartment. Well, she went to the apartment with the and I don't know what the word to use, with the hopes of moving in. And then again, he showed his ass off the camera. I mean, I'm just going by what I saw in the after party.
That's what she said. I'm sure we'll find out one way or the other. They'll show at the end what the real conversations are, because they've got to bring that up at some point.
Yeah.
His off camera, because they have they're recording all that shit.
And she keeps saying he went on a rant and he was this and that. I've never seen him lose his temper. So her idea of her scale of what a rant is and what like demands are compared to her, just like she has no expression at all. And she's always talking like that. She's it's like blah, blah, blah. So I don't know what her level of drama is, but I don't see him getting any kind of rant that we've seen on TV yet.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think he was genuinely, his feelings are hurt. He may be sensitive. So it feels like his feelings are hurt. Like she shit all over his fucking living situation.
Yeah.
We're just going, welcome back.
We're still talking about Dom and Mac.
She shit all over his living situation. She shit all over him not being adventurous that she wanted, even though he did do the adventure things that she did. She hasn't acknowledged, at least saying, how's your dogs? She don't care. But she even said about the dogs. She was like, she made a comment like,
dogs aren't on the bed. I don't want them all over our stuff. They're dirty. Yeah.
Everything about him, she's negated. There's not one thing that she's been like, oh, or like, oh, okay, well, he's this, that, and the other. Nothing.
Okay, Shahida, let me give you your moment. We're talking about Dom and Mac. We're good. Spill it. What do you think?
I don't know what you guys said, but what Chris just said, yeah, that's all true. But he's still whiny to me. And when I think of him, I cannot picture his mother. And so everything that he does and all the complaints that Dom has, I'm picturing his mother going, He just doesn't seem like a stable, mature person. He doesn't have anything. I said last week, he don't even have a plate of his own. That would turn me off too. And being 25 and then this dude not having, I think she was a little harsh when she said, if you really loved your dogs, they would be here by now.
That wasn't harsh. I would have said the same thing.
She went a little in, but I don't know if he talked about his dogs before, but I don't remember any conversations about these damn dogs. Nope. But I know that we're not privy to everything, but I think he was using that to say, too, that I feel like he feels like he is not good enough for her because she is giving him those vibes. She's giving him those vibes that you're not good enough for me. And he's starting to feel like, oh, I'm not good enough for her. Like she was you could be living in a, what did he say? A pit or whatever. And it would not take away my attraction. Yeah, it would, sir. It absolutely
yes, it would. That was a stone cold ass lie there right there.
I don't know about that.
Well,
come on.
Women get a pass on that. They could be in the projects and the dude would be like, you know what? I don't care. I'm getting up out of there. She's mine because she's fine. But men don't get that kind of same break. But no, I'm not feeling him. I'm not feeling her a whole great deal either because I still feel that Dom is doing this because her mother put her in that situation. Yep. And you guys said that too?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're all in agreement.
And having been 20 and getting married because my parents wanted me to, I'm just looking at her and I'm like, girl, you got to get some backbone against your mama and you got to do things your own way. She would not be there if it wasn't for her. So there's issues on both sides, but no, I don't like him.
They're just not exciting at all to watch. I'm like, fast forward, move on. They're both checked out.
Agreed. Yeah. Agreed on all that.
I have a feeling that she's going to stay for a while because I was looking in the previews. We all saw her with the boxes, but then remember there was a preview of like their housewarming thing that they're doing, and they were having a discussion. I don't know if they actually had the housewarming, but you know what? Just go home. Just go. Just take your 25-year-old box of stuff and go on home.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I agree. I think they're just going to do the most for the rest of the process, unless, shit really goes south and then they just decide we're done here. But I think they'll survive like another week or two. We'll see.
I want to see him go on this rant. She keeps talking about this rant. He was ranting, but I want to see what the scale that she thinks is actually a rant because he's given us nothing. He's given us pouting and whining, but he's not like exploding or like calling her names or like giving, So I'm curious to see whether they'll give us a little inkling of what she's talking about him going crazy.
Yeah, because when they say
he gives me that guy that says, "See you next Tuesday." He gives me those vibes that he'll come off, and it might not be. He gives me those kind of vibes.
Possibly. But again, they have. Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
No, I haven't seen him say one thing to her bad about her in the public, or maybe in the rant he did, but in the on camera, I haven't seen him say one thing to her about, I don't like that you do this, I don't like you do that. More of a reaction to what she did. But I've seen her go, you ain't got this, you did this, she's tore him down on camera. I don't think he's tore her down on camera. I haven't seen him tear her down one time on camera.
That's true.
He's not funny.
Right.
Yeah.
He's corny. He's not funny.
He's not adventurous.
Fuck them dogs.
Do we even know what kind of dogs he has? No, because he doesn't care.
He don't talk about those dogs.
He don't talk about the dogs. He don't care about the dogs.
He didn't show a picture to her of the dog? Oh, we haven't seen it. Okay.
No, we haven't seen the dog because he was like, you never once asked. Because here I am. I'm an animal lover. Let's not get this shit twisted. So if you have dogs that you so-called care about and love so much, you're not moving away and you're going to be there for 5 months and not sending for your damn animals or bringing your animals with you. So when he was like, you never once asked me, see my clap back to him when he was like, you never once asked me to see a picture of my dogs, ask me about the dogs, what kind of breed they are. Why would I?
Because who he is.
Why would I ask you? If you don't bring it up, I'm not going to ask you about your damn animals.
Obviously, he did bring it up on some occasion because he said, you haven't asked me more about she knows that he has dogs.
But if he's not, obviously the communication isn't being had on a regular. This ain't Chris and Nicole here with the animal situation. He probably said, yeah, I have a couple of dogs and they're in Michigan or California or wherever the hell them damn dogs are at this point. And that's all he probably said. And she's probably was like, which I would have been, okay.
I don't think he'd be that butthurt.
Yeah, maybe she rolled her eyes. Yeah, maybe she rolled her eyes and scoffed and like, I don't want, oh God, dogs. Like, cause she seems like a little brat. And like, oh, really have dogs? And then he shut down.
Yeah, I get that 100%. Now I'm not gonna say she's not a brat. She definitely is 100% a brat. Yeah. But that's why I'm looking at the experts. Right. What did you see? And I'm not gonna stop saying that. That was a terrible match. First of all, when she kept saying, my mother wanted me to do this, you know what? Call us when you want to do it. Mm-hmm. Yep. She's she's not a horrible person, but she's a brat. But who isn't a brat at 2025?
Right?
I was fucked up at 2025. I was a brat. Mm-hmm. And I was married. And you know the things that she says to him? That's what I was saying to my husband at 20. Like, well, my father does this. I had Michael hating my parents because I was a brat. Mm-hmm. So
she's just not ready. And he's not ready. Maybe he's not ready either.
The experts.
Or she needs one of those Tennessee flannel wearing Timberland boots, fishing pole with a pickup truck. Like, honey, get a car. This is our life. She needs a man to take charge, shut her up, and show her the life that she wants.
She needs old boy from, oh my God, what season was that? Was it Atlanta?
Was it Texas?
Was it Texas? The guy, the white guy with the cowboy that was with
Jesus. The one that Alyssa liked?
Yes! The one that Alyssa liked.
Alexa, be quiet.
The one that Alyssa liked. Yeah. It was the season before the Boston season. What was the season before the Boston
Houston,
season?
Right?
Houston.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what Dom needs is him. That dude, that country old boy. But again, I'm just, I just think he's a trumper and he probably ain't gonna get with her because she's half black. So here we are. Yeah, but they would be perfect for each other. If he wasn't a trumper and a racist, they'd be good for each other. But that's just my own opinion. Sorry, not sorry. All right, let's go next to, let me pull something out my ass. Let's go to Kirsten and Shaquille.
I do not like her.
Neither do I. Are we all in agreement with the fake ass apartment? She's a real estate person, and we already know that she used a friggin' model apartment and put it as her own and threw all her clothes in that closet all messy. Come on, Kirsten. You don't live like that in real life.
She's a real estate agent?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah, that apartment was sad. That was sad. So
she had nothing personal in there whatsoever.
That bedroom had no life. Not even for her. Like where would you even keep your stuff? Yeah. Like nothing.
That bed. Listen to me. That bed was below grade hotel quality at this point. I'm talking that is like Fairfield Inn, Spring Hill Suite. Listen, I've stayed at a Spring Hill Suites when I was traveling for work. Them beds was better than that bed that she had up in that piece. Please. With that old sorry ass headboard and them sorry ass pillows and that throw blanket. And I'm just like, who you trying to fool up in here, Kirsten? And nope. Shaquille knew it. His face, I was zoned in on his face. He's like, and when I flatlined when he walked into her closet and he was like, oh, and he's pulling out the hangers. She literally threw that shit together. She probably got her line sisters Her friends, her family was like, let's just grab up a bunch of clothes and a bunch of shoes. We're just going to throw it in the closet. He's pulling up the thing with her dress. Now, you know, Kirsten, you ain't hanging up a dress on a hanger like that. You know better than that.
She's phony. She's phony.
And the straight up Pastor Cal thing. So is there any chemistry? She's like, nope.
No,
not really.
No, she's like, yeah, I don't like her.
No. Yeah. She is legit faking the funk. And I can't respect people like that. If you're not feeling him, let's not continue any longer. When Pastor Cal shows up on meeting number 1, I would be like, yeah, this isn't going to work for me. I got to go. I'm sorry. I thought I was doing the right thing by signing up for this process. I really wanted to find the love of my life, but he ain't it. And I'm not going to continue on for 7 more weeks just because I got to go.
She's stupid because he's a good catch. I mean, if she can't get beyond whatever issue she has, I mean, she does seem like she's really closed off. I mean, maybe you are when you're just not attracted to somebody, you just can't get over that hump. But he is not, he's corny, but he's funny corny. You know, I mean, we're all corny. You know, I mean, he's personable. He can talk to people. You can go anywhere with him. You can take him to any type of social and he's going to have a good time. And he's going to make people feel comfortable.
He's respectful.
You're in that type of business where you're dealing with people all the time. You would want somebody like that by your side. He's smart. He's intelligent. I mean, the bald head, is it that girl? What? Who doesn't want a guy with a bald head? This is 2023. Mm-hmm. That's just, at this point, a bald head is part of our culture. Stop. I don't know what her problem is. Maybe, how old is she?
32, right?
Yeah, she's 32.
Yeah, they could be a power couple. If she got it together and she really wanted to grow her business, they could be a power couple because he's educated and motivated, and also got his whole skill set with his whole bow ties, and so they could do a lot together. I definitely know. You can tell she's.
He would make a nice home. I mean, he has plants, for Christ's sake. He has pictures of his families. He is, you know, he's respectful. He's being patient as fuck with her too.
Down for that. Like, plants. She put him down for having plants and pictures of his family all over the place like that. She was annoyed by that.
And the whatchamacallit, the sewing machine.
Yeah.
You know?
Agreed. So here it is again. What do you want, bitch?
Right, basically.
I mean, seriously, what do you want? Because I've legit purposely taken myself out of the dating game because I just don't have it in me anymore to deal with this shit. I don't care anymore. I just want to live the rest of my 25, 30 years that I have left in me and die peacefully. What do you want, Kirsten? You asked
me. You want a guy like him?
What?
You want a guy like him?
I wouldn't mind a guy like him. And to be honest with you, to be 100% with you, when I first saw Shaq, I was like, he's not that. Like, if I saw him in the street and met him through a friend or a colleague, I'd probably be like, I'd be nice, obviously, but I'd be like, yeah, he's not my type. And it has nothing to do with the bald head. It has nothing to do with the bald head. But I'm just like, yeah, he's a little bit too extra. Shaquille for me wouldn't work for me because Shaquille's a little bit too extra with his sewing machine and his bow ties. I'd feel like, bro, who's the woman in this relationship? You or me? Because I don't know how to fucking sew worth a damn.
Oh, yeah, because you thought he was gay.
I thought he was gay. Right off the rip, I was like, he's giving me overly gay tendencies. So he wouldn't work for me. But now that he's obviously heterosexual, and now I'm seeing him for who he is, he's starting to rub off well on me. Like, I think he's becoming a little bit more attractive to me. That's why I always say obviously, you know, the when you first meet somebody, I'm that person. It's all about visuals for me. If you attractive to me, okay, we're good. But you know, as soon as you open your mouth, you could be unattractive to me. So I'm like, I like Shaq. If Shaq, I'd give Shaq a roll in the hay.
And also,
let him make me a tie.
There's no chemistry, but she's all laid up with him in bed.
But I said that to you all from the after party when you all said that he said that behind the camera she was different. But I don't think that she started that until sometime later, because up until this point, she is giving him like all these mixed signals. And I think it's later that she starts acting like that. Because if you don't like somebody, why would you want to lay up on his chest in the bed on your honeymoon anywhere? You know, why are you touching him the way that you are? But then you don't want him to kiss you. I don't know. I don't like her. I just think she's really two-faced. She got a lot going on.
I don't think she's two-faced. I think she's just fucking fraud. Let's call it what it is. She's a fraud. That apartment isn't hers.
Right.
Period. She's supposed to be so extra in all this. Why does your apartment look like a damn hotel room? No. That she's a straight up fraud. She's doing this because she doesn't have the sack to say, I don't want to be in this. He's not the guy for me.
Or
she's going to run this down to the 8th week. And then on the decision day, she's going to say, no, I can't do this.
You might say no, though.
I hope he does.
I hope he does. I hope he says no before 8 weeks, because he's looking at her. If you look at the body language when they were on the couch with and Pastor Cal was talking to them.
Right.
She every time she opened her mouth, he's looking at her like, He knows she's full of shit. I believe him when he said, when the cameras are off, she's like, don't talk to me, don't do this. But we'll find out soon enough, because you know how Married at First Sight does. They, even though the production crew and everybody's gone, they have them cameras in those apartments where they're like, roll the clip. When they have arguments or shit pops off, they roll the clip and they show that. So if it really gets that bad, they'll roll the clip. She's a fraud. And I'm sorry, she is the kind of woman that I look at and I always say, you're the kind of woman that's going to turn a good man into a fucking asshole. Sorry, not sorry. When she's gonna mess him up. And he's going to be bitter, and then he's going to treat the next woman like shit.
Well, speaking of the after party, I thought Olajuwon they were divorced. They were together.
Right?
Yeah, they're together.
Oh, no, they're not together anymore. That was taped. I think that was taped. Was it taped or no? It can't be taped.
It must. See, I think they must tape those right after it happens, because she's not pregnant anymore, right? She's had her baby, right?
Who?
Keisha.
No, Keisha's not. Keisha's still pregnant.
I think she's still pregnant.
The after party is live. It's the couch, the couple's couch. I didn't watch the couple's couch, but I heard that the couple's couch is out there now, and Katina and Olajuwon are on it. And I think that was taped because they're not together anymore.
Yeah, because they were together. Okay.
Yeah.
So I wonder when do they? I don't understand. When do they tape the after it airs, or when do they tape it?
Or maybe they tape it, or maybe they, with each episode that's taped, I don't know how it's done, they show it to them immediately and they can record them watching
that
it.
Was within the season, that like they're watching it the same time that we're watching it.
I don't think that
I don't think so.
Because there's never been a slip. There should be a slip somewhere in the last 16 seasons or whatever where they go, that motherfucker is, like they still are acting like. There has to be one time when someone's like, I hate that motherfucker, this, that, and the other. Like Justin or Chris Williams, one of those things where like, I hate that motherfucker, so. But they're always kind of like, oh, we'll see. Oh, don't say anything. There has to be a slip sometime.
But I think that Go ahead. Sorry, Shahida.
Have that check dangling. Maybe you just don't make sure.
Or with the after party, it's recorded. It might be recorded live, but I mean recorded, like a couple of days ago, or whatever. But like I said before, when we recorded, I think it was last week or the week before. I don't think it's aired live. I think it's recorded, like present day, like this week or last week or what have you. And if they slip up, production's probably like, cut, let's roll back. Dominique, you said this. You shouldn't. No, we can't do that. Or your body language is off, or whatever, your vernacular is off. Let's roll back. I tell you what, it's amazing how they do it. I'd love to get an insight on how they record that and how they do, like when the couple's couch is recorded and aired and when the after party. Because Rudy Huxtable's still preggers. So
yeah.
Well, here we got another couple.
Who next?
I think the experts did a good job picking them two from what they gave. But that's not who she is.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll get the good couple out of the way really quick and easy. Nicole and Chris.
He kept saying, well, if on decision day. I didn't like him not being as confident because she needs that. And I think he should be happy because she's a phenomenal wife. That's what Rajuan kept saying about her in the after part, how great Nicole was as a wife and what she did as a wife and stuff, but she's, Chris, his name is Chris, right?
Right.
I
Vanessa, I wanted to ask you, because last week I was like, damn, she's not here. What did you think of his breakdown last week about the dogs?
Oh boy.
We can discuss this. She really stepped above and beyond to not have her dog there and give it to a family member for the temporary whatever. So she's doing everything to compromise for him. If he's fallen apart with the dogs, being a husband as a father, he's gonna have to step it up and grow, some balls, because you gotta pull it together to be a strong. Because she's strong. She needs a guy who's gonna match her.
Mm-hmm. These guys have put a cigarette on her tongue.
Come on, Chris. Come on, we're past that.
We also got to bring that up. But that's what we were saying last week. And I saw a little bit. I mean, I'm glad that he's acknowledging that she stepped up the way he did, but it concerns me that your very first reaction to something so fixable was to completely break down. And she came in, she saved the day, because it was like, really, I understand if maybe you got a little emotional, but you didn't even try, and you sat on the fucking balcony,
Chris,
like a 16-year-old girl crying over something that you could have fixed with a couple of phone calls, and did exactly what she did.
It's temporary. He wasn't giving his dogs away like last season, where he basically brought his one dog. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I do like them as a couple. Nicole is holding him down, but I think because he's had bad relationships before, because he's always talking about, he was taken advantage of before and he feels a little bit used. Don't get overprotective of yourself against her, because all those other women did you so bad. I can see him holding back for her what you would normally just give, because now you have to feel like you have to come from this place of strength. But don't play your cards wrong.
But if he's giving that on a daily basis, like if he's falling apart consistently and he's trying to hold together, and we see that just because of the dogs, maybe that's why none of those relationships lasted, because he couldn't keep it together, So she's gonna have to take the reins in that marriage, and she's gonna have to demand the kids, or what he wants a lot. She only wants one, maybe. So she's gonna have to just, take the reins, because he seems like he's got a lot of issues.
But he's trying not to be soft, but he is. Mm-hmm. and it's coming out, but I think he's trying not to be soft in the wrong places, and that's dealing with her afterwards. I'm not expressing it the way I want, but it's like he's trying to, like, by saying, well, if this works out, or if, throwing all these other things, and he's trying to act like he's a little bit tougher. Like, if it doesn't work out, I'm going to be okay. But no, I don't think you would be. I think you'll be on the couch crying in the corner. He's trying to be too tough with her. He needs to be just a little bit, I don't want to say vulnerable, because goddamn. Anyway, maybe he just needs to
pick your battles. Do you want him to be vulnerable and emotional?
I know.
Or do you want him to be a thug, a hardcore? I mean, it is what it is.
He's a middle.
And also, she is a lot. Did you see the thing with her showing the picture to the?
Yeah,
she's a lot.
But she admits it. She admitted it that she is a lot, and she's a little bit extra.
Nah, so at the after party, she was talking to the crew or whatever. They have a picture of them at the wedding.
Oh,
and
yeah.
She was going, do you see this? Who put this picture? It's a horrible picture. I'm like, could you imagine living with that? That's what Chris is afraid of. That's what he's worried about. He's
on top of that, and then on top of the fact that, again, it's an insecurity issue with her. Like, she needs I can't be with somebody that needs constant validation. I can't do that. Like, when she told Pastor Cal, I ask him every day, if it's 8 weeks, if it's decision day, what would you say? We're like agreement that it's going to be a yes. And Pastor Cal's like, he clutched his pearls. He's like, oh, no, boo-boo. That's not no, you can't do that. Because if you he was very right when he was like, if you guys get into an argument, because shit's going to happen.
Right.
And you pose that question to him, you're probably not going to like the answer that you're going to get. So she needs to stop that. She needs to stop with the constant daily questions of, it's 8 weeks. It's decision day. Are you going to say yes? Or do you love me?
Yeah. Stop
asking the man if he is in love with you. I can't do that.
Basically, they both got issues. And I hope
they do. But listen, they both had sex.
True.
They consummated their marriage, and it wasn't even scripted. It wasn't like planned, I should say. They just, when she said, we just looked at each other one day and it just happened. And I was like, that's the best kind of sex right there. I'm just going to look at you. Hey, boo. Hey, boo. Pop, pop.
So maybe since it's been 2 years for him, maybe he'll loosen up a little bit.
Yeah. I think he's going to. The one thing I didn't like was the whole lease thing when he was bringing up the whole. That was problematic for me, because I'm like, she's proven to you that she's in this. Like, she made arrangements for her dog so that you could have your 2 dogs at this apartment. And now you're going to sit me down? See, that couldn't be me, because my neck would have been like, excuse me? Like, you can't sit me down after I did all that and then say to me, well, we don't know what after 8 weeks, what that's going to bring. I say, you sign your lease for another 9 months. I'll sign my lease for another 9 months. And, we can visit. No, bro, we're married. Mm-hmm. So you can sign a lease. I'm going to get out. When my lease is up, I'm out. I'm going to put my shit in storage. And then at 8 weeks, if we're so confident that we're going to say yes, then I'm going to move into your apartment until we find something else. I thought that was a little bit, that was a little bit.
I agree with what you're saying, but I don't think I would be the one to want to give up my lease.
Then why get married? Again, why would you get married to a stranger? Yeah. This is shit. This is real life shit. You married somebody without even knowing what they look like and who they were. And now you're going to sit there and start nitpicking about, well, I don't know if I'm comfortable with break. I don't want to, my lease is up, so I'm going to sign another 9 months. What the fuck? You can always get another apartment. It ain't like a house. It ain't like you're sitting on a mortgage that you're like, well, I'm not moving out of my house. Like, I'm not giving up my house. an apartment, I'll give up an apartment all day, every day. If my lease is up, I'm out because I'm living in this nice lifetime supplied apartment. And after 8 weeks, I'm pretty sure if we keep one apartment and we succeed, we'll just move into that. And if it doesn't work out, boom, boom, I'll go find me another apartment.
You're right. I just know. I'm just thinking like 8 weeks. I'm still scared.
I think there's something we're not seeing in their relationship, obviously, because he doesn't seem like the type of person that would be like, "Oh, slow your roll, girl, slow your roll." Let's just. I was surprised that he was like, "Yeah, maybe let's not live together," because I would have thought he'd have been like, "Yeah, let's do it. That's what
I'm saying. I think he's putting the brakes on the wrong person. Like he's always talking.
But we don't know. But we don't know is what I'm saying.
He's what?
I don't think we. I think that's what I'm saying. I don't think we see all that she is. I bet you she's a lot. I told you from the very beginning, she's going to eat his ass up.
Nope, I disagree because she's a lot, but she knows how to play her position. Because if you notice, she did not like that whole lease apartment conversation. And when Pastor Cal came in and they addressed it with him, and Pastor Cal was like, "Why?" And she shut her mouth. If she knows how far she can take it. And then she shuts her mouth and stays in her lane. Because she was like, the little confessional part where she was talking and she's like, I don't like it. But you know what? I just know she knows how to pick her battles. Let's just say that. She didn't say that in so many words, but she was like, I don't agree with it, but I'm just not going to say anything about that. And when he was talking about it with Pastor Cal and it cut to her, she looked completely uncomfortable. Like, I'm that wife that I'm just going to put a button on it. Even though I got shit to say, I'm going to put a button on it and I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to let him be the man and we'll figure this out when the time comes. So she knows how to restrain herself. So what she lost it over a picture. I do that too. If you pick all the pictures you took, Mr. Photographer, and you pick the one where my arm looks like a damn side of beef, that's problematic to me. I'm gonna cuss everybody out. Somebody's getting fired.
It could be in fun. It could be in jest. She could have been like, "Come on, guys,"
Right.
Exactly. So doesn't have
to be. Agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I think all the women were like, "Yeah, I see her point."
When she put it up, I was like, girl, yep, I'm with you on that one, girl. I'm with you on that one.
Who's next?
All right. We good with Nicole and Chris?
Yeah.
So let's go to
Arris.
Vanessa's favorite couple, Arris and Jasmine. We'll let you have the floor. Queen, you got the floor. Talk to us.
Poor Jasmine. Again, she's checked out. I mean,
okay, wait. Everybody keeps calling her Jasmina. Jasmine.
Oh, Jasmine. Okay.
Oh, Jasmine. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
He's checked out.
He's at home like this.
And it's that only child syndrome where he wants the world the way he wants it, and he's not willing to compromise, and he's got a very myopic vision of what his view is for everything. And I don't see it getting better. And obviously they tease to his cousin coming back next episode. And just hateful. And he's trying to please her. I don't know why. He tries to impress his cousin because she's just horrible.
There's got to be something with that. There's that's a whole mess.
Yeah.
But to your point, Vanessa, about the only child thing, coming from an only child, I agree if he was much younger. He is 39 years old. What the hell? You haven't had, I was like that. I was like I said, I was like that. I was like, Dom, 20, 25, kids changed it, and then you grow up. this dude is 39 years old and he's still acting like he's 20 something. The one thing I will give him is that when he was talking to Pastor Cal, even though I think he was full of shit because he was lying, because she was like, oh, one thing I really like about him is he doesn't lie to me. He has been lying to you, sweetheart. He has been telling you he's interested. He does not find you attractive at all. Mm-hmm. And when he was talking about if it was the old me, I would have had her on the balcony. I would have did this, and I would have. No one wants to hear that. That's so hurtful to her. Why are you going in on how much you are not attracted to this woman? So I really felt bad for her. Mm-hmm. To me, I don't have as much a problem with him as I have with the experts that picked a 39-year-old man who has never been in love, never been in a relationship more than 2 years. He's 39. I would have thought he brought something more to the table, but he does not seem emotionally equipped to be in a marriage.
He wanted a queen.
They gave
him a queen. That's what he said. I wanted a queen. You gave me a queen, but it's not who he wants. Even the body type, her body is fantastic. I mean, she's wearing those like athletic bras and tight biker shorts, and her body is crazy. But it's not Megan the Stallion body. He likes, you know what I mean? So there's nothing that he'll ever be happy with her, unfortunately.
She's not going to make fun of her no more because she's too nice.
She's not his type, and I worry for her. Like, I legit was watching this episode, and I was like, oh God, please, 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 Lifetime, don't hurt Jasmine, because she is a good girl. And Vanessa, I agree with you. Her body is slamming. She just don't have a big, fat, juicy booty and big, triple D titties like he wants. She is not his type. And I get it. Everybody has a type. But he did, but again, like I compliment Pastor Cal with what he said when Arris was talking about her and was like, I could have she makes him feel safe and secure in the fact that when he said, if we had children and I died, I would know, because again, he's got daddy issues because his daddy was murdered when he was young.
To leave the obituary on your nightstand, that's a little trippy. I mean,
that is cringy for real though. I mean, for real. Like put that, like I can see if you want to have your parents' obituary, but put that shit in like a place where like your bathroom, your office, some shit where like really nobody comes to. Don't have that shit sitting out on the counter in your kitchen when you're entertaining.
I have it on my mantle.
But it's not a nightstand. It's not before you go to bed. It's not next to your nightstand. Like
exactly.
Much.
It ain't on your refrigerator. Like if I come into your house and I open it, I'm like, oh, go grab me some water. And I grab the refrigerator handle. I'm like, oh, shall I kneel down and do my little ting and put some, light a candle or some sage and shit? Shit. No. And he wears his father's face on a medallion around his neck. Another creepy. I'm sorry.
The one thing I will say about, I know you're not going to like this. But the fact that not that he's, I think there's an element to him that he's genuinely afraid of changing who he is, but he feels like he needs to change who he is to a certain extent, because he does, when he really talks about her, he does talk about her with affection, with respect, with honor, with love. It's just the attractiveness part is and the way he talks about the attractiveness part is the problem. But when he talks about her, about how she would be there for him, how we have kids and this, that, and the other, I think he sees it. He's just trying to get over who he was and get past who he was, being forced in the situation to be married. Yep. So I honestly think that I agree. He kind of wants this, and he doesn't know how to get out of his own fucking way. Mm-hmm. I really think that's the issue. Whenever we talk, He doesn't talk about it like she's like, I don't really like her. It seems to me, it feels like in Arris's own way, he does really like her. He's like, she's her best friend, but I don't think he's ever had someone.
Nope.
And also, you know, with the loss, you know, he has dealt with, obviously, with his father and this other loss. I think he's really afraid of investing himself into one person that is going to be not just a booty hole that he's going to be fucking on the balcony, that he has a genuine relationship with, that he's going to build a future with. So I think a lot of it is just fucking fear, because I don't think, even though his sexual thing is inappropriate, I think that would not work on other girls, but this is a whole different situation. I don't know if he really knows how to handle it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I'm trying to give him, I'm trying to work with you, Arris. You know, I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt of like, okay, well, because why would you even be in this experiment in the first place if you really didn't think that it could work? Not that you're going to get a big booty hoe, like hopefully he gets whatever, but he has someone who is attractive, who's really good to him, and they're almost like best friends. I mean, they get along really well, and I don't think he's ever had a relationship because he's never been in love. I think he's always kept women or people probably at a distance, like, no, this is my stuff. You put your stuff over here. No, I don't think he's ever really shared anything with anybody because I think he's so afraid not to share, you know, his stuff as well as his emotions. And I think I'm telling you, watch, he's going to turn, come on, baby. He's going to turn a fucking corner. I just want you to be a fucking, come on, man. Just like, because, and I got to give it to her also, because a lot of men would be like, oh, look, my fucking, she's a beauty kid. Like, and she's like, you don't fuck, I want him to whip my fucking clothes off. Because she seems to be attracted to him too, you know? But she's like, what the fuck is up with this dude? I just think it's just going to take him some more time, and they're going to get closer and closer. And once he feels like he can, they got to have sex though. Once they have sex, and if she puts it on him, come on, Jasmine. If she puts it on him, he's going to be done.
But I kind of, I agree with you, but I just like her so much, and I don't want her to, I fear for her. So I don't want her to have, because she said, I fall in love very quickly and very easily. And the way that she looks at him, I will give Arris this. When they were having the conversation on the couch with Pastor Cal, he makes very good eye contact, which for me is a plus. Like when people are like Kirsten, let's go back to her, Kirsten and Gina, we'll talk about that in a minute, but neither one of them made proper eye contact with their significant other when they were talking about their significant other. Mm-hmm. Even when they were talking to Pastor Cal. I like the fact that Arris, when Pastor Cal was like, Jasmine, what do you like about him? And she was telling him, and he was right in her face, eye to eye looking at her. And when he was speaking about her, he was eye to eye with her. So for me, that's a plus. So I don't think that he's full of shit. I just think that he has a type. And like Chris said, he's got to get out of his own head as far as you've been with this particular type of woman or bedded down these particular type of women for basically ever. And, his dad died early in his life. His mother raised him. He hasn't really had that proper type of upbringing, should we say, that in that proper guidance, I shouldn't say upbringing, but that proper guidance that is going to make him be a successful husband to Jasmine. So I think that, and I hope that this works out, but until he gets his shit together, I hope that they don't have sex.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling that she's gonna get fucking hurt in the end on this one.
And at 39, no, we can't.
Go ahead, Vanessa.
We can't see you.
We can't see you, Chris. You kept coming in and out.
Yeah, I'm coming back. Go ahead.
But at 39, and he just had sex 2 weeks before the experiment started.
2 days. 2 days before.
2 days. There's always that escape hatch. that it's like he's got to be strong enough to say, I know there are women that I can get immediately, and that's the easy way out. So it's either he's going to be like, I'm going to relive the rest of my life doing what I'm going to do, or dive into this. That's why I think that escape hatch for him, because he's had it easy. Like, why change?
Yeah. So I'm with Vanessa on this one too. I don't believe that he's sincere. And I do think it's that he's always that only child thing for him that he has not grown out of. And maybe because he hasn't had, I think he would have grown out of it by now if he had a serious relationship with someone, if he fell in love with someone, but he's still acting like he's a 19-year-old boy, and still selfish in his ways. And I'm glad you brought up the thing about him having sex 2 days before he got the announcement. But, please, because I've been having this argument with your brother. Because I said, if you signed up for Married at First Sight, and even if they haven't, but you've gone through all the interviews and everything, and even if you didn't know 100% when they were going to call you to tell you, oh, we've found you a match, why would you ever? I feel like it's a mental thing. You should be getting ready for marriage. And if they don't call you, then go fuck everybody you want to. But before then, you should be mentally preparing for your marriage. And that is not having random sex with somebody just because you can, because you have to sow your wild oats. What's your opinion?
I agree. I think
it's a female male thing. It's a female male thing.
No, it's not. I've asked other people too. I've asked other men too. And they said the same thing. If you are preparing to get married, you don't go out and have sex with a whole bunch of women just to sow your oats.
It's married at first sight. It's married at first sight. It's not like if you've been in a relationship for 3 years.
If you really wanted it, like Chris really wanted it, then you know what? You're gonna wait for the process to finish before you go having sex with. I don't care what you say. Shut up.
If Chris could have had booty in 2 years, Chris would have had some fucking booty in 2 years. That boy was not getting.
Okay, what about Shaquille? Shaquille didn't.
He was, but what? Arris was dating someone. He was dating.
No, he was not dating somebody. He said that it was somebody that he had a thing with off and on, but they weren't.
The girl who's on Instagram that they're mutually friends with.
Mm-hmm.
That they thought that they were in a relationship, and he's like, "No, I'm going to be doing this thing," and he stopped the relationship 2 weeks before.
Mm-hmm.
No. He said he had sex 2 nights before.
Not 2 nights before he found out.
Yeah.
Before he found out.
Right.
And it was with the girl that he was dating.
Again, he wasn't meant. Anyway, it goes back to the point. He is not mature enough at 39 years old. He's still acting like a boy. And here we are with this selfish person dealing with somebody that really wants to be in a marriage. And she's committed. I will give her credit because she's saying, look, I know I fall in love very easily. And this person has already told me, 1, he's not attracted to me. And 2, he's never been in love. So she's aware. So she's trying to keep herself aware and not fall too deep. But it could be very hard for her if he keeps lying. Because I don't believe anything that he's saying, really. I don't.
You see them holding
hands?
Have to
follow up with action.
You see them holding hands?
Mm-hmm.
I did.
You saw them holding hands. If he really was, I just think he's afraid. I just think that he's never had and been in a situation where he's forced to be in a relationship. And this is one of the things he's like, he even said it himself.
Force you to be in a relationship. No one should have to force you to be in a relationship.
I'm talking about it's almost like being in the army. It's like being in the army. When you're in the army, you have to do this, that. If you want to get in shape and you paid $100 a class, but you paid 10 years of paying $100 a class, you're going to go to the gym. But if you're not going to pay that, I'm telling you, I don't think he would have been I don't think if he really wanted to be a hoe and not be in a committed relationship anymore, I don't think he would do this in the first place. Why would he do it in the first place? Because I honestly think that he really wants it. And he's just got to get through it.
But my point is that the escape hatch is, I know I can get anything I want anytime. So his choice is, am I going to be courageous enough to know that my escape, which will be, they'll all be lined up and he can be back to who he was. Do I have enough courage to commit? And I don't know whether he has that, he can jump that hurdle with her.
Because let me piggyback on that one, Vanessa, because now he's on the show. Mm-hmm. All right. So with that comes clout. So does he want to, Jasmine is not his type. So I'm pretty sure this is how this works. Once this is over, if he decides to stay with her even for a month or two, or decides to walk away and his IG, TikTok, Facebook, everything opens up, he is going to have the pick of the litter. So you have to go with where his brain is thinking right now. Like, ooh.
So you really think that he was watching Married at First Sight? That's a TV show that he watches. He's like, you know what? I think that's be a good idea for me to get more booty is by going.
No, because word on the street, rumor on the street, let's go there, is that he was recruited, him and Mac. Both of them lived in California.
Oh, really?
So why all of a sudden are they in Nashville? So that's the rumor on the street, that Lifetime recruited Arris and Mac to move to Nashville.
Why on earth would you recruit that man then? That is not.
I said the same thing. Of all the people in the country, you pick the two bottom feeders of the pack to come on the show. It makes no sense. But I'm kind of, conspiracy theorist. I'm kind of thinking, well, maybe. But I just look at it with Arris like, he's got to. I don't think that's going to work. I think for Arris, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I am Team Aris's cousin that flat out said to him, "You're not ready for this. This isn't for you. You're not ready for this." Her. He called it.
Yeah, I don't like her.
I don't like
her either. She's rude, but she said it right off the rip on the episode when he told them, "I'm getting married," and she's like, "Don't do this. You're not ready for this." And you know what? I respect her for doing that, because that's what real people do. Real people in your family, doesn't matter if you think it's a good thing, that real one is going to be like, no, that's not a good idea, bro.
So after they get married, but you can say that at the beginning, but after they get married and after they're in this process, you should leave it alone.
Yeah.
Because he's in it. So what's he going to do now? And as we said from the preview, she's still got a stank attitude about it.
But here's the thing. That is on Arris, because we all have family members. Don't get it twisted. We all got that one family member or that one friend that's going to show their ass and say what the fuck they want to say. That is Arris's problem, to check his cousin and say, Fallon or Farron or whatever the fuck her name is, boo-boo, shut your mouth. I'm getting married. Like at my wedding ceremony, if I was Arris and you show up to me as I'm about to walk down that aisle and you're like, you can walk out now, you can leave now, that I'd be like, you need to go to hell home. And we're good here.
Anita, didn't your mother say to you before you got married?
My mother did it.
Don't do it. Oh, your mother said it too.
Listen, there's a difference between mothers and cousins. I'm just the cousin and the friend. I ain't your parents, for God's sakes. You ain't gonna throw your mothers. Y'all didn't throw your mother. You can't throw your mothers out your wedding, but you can sure throw my black ass out your wedding if I come up to either one of you and say, "Don't do it."
Her saying it, she had every right to say it right before he walked down the aisle. You got up but then after it was said and done, then you support the marriage, because the most important thing is after it's said and done, you don't want to be that person sniping in somebody's ear a bunch of negative. Support both people.
Yeah,
I don't like her. I think it's unnecessary to be as snotty as she is. And
but it makes for good TV. It makes for good TV, so they're gonna keep her there.
It makes me wonder if he was dating a friend of hers or something. There's something else going on there, that she might have wanted him to be with somebody that she picked.
Yeah, that's a good theory, Shahida. That's a good because she was stank to Jasmine too. She was for no reason about like, you're right. You're right. Maybe that is maybe.
See, I was looking at it from a different thing. I was looking at it from somebody passed me my banjo because I was like, now I think it's some old nasty shit where I'm like, you really, you in love with him. You are in love with your cousin.
It could be that too, but I think it could be like a friend or something too. So who knows? All right, let's go on to the next one.
Oh, let's finish it off with Gina and Clint.
Can I just say one thing before we start? Has anybody seen Big Mouth on Netflix?
I've watched it.
Oh, I will show you. Autumn has my Chris. Look up Big Mouth, and the main character looks like Gina.
I'll do it right now.
Is it a cartoon? Because if it's a cartoon, I don't do that.
I'll do it right now. I got you. It's a cartoon. Yeah.
All I'm gonna say. All right, I'm gonna speak. I'm just gonna make one comment about Clint and Gina, and then I'm gonna leave it to you three.
Okay.
How do you sign up? You don't want to move into the apartment.
That one.
Oh Lord, is that Gina?
That looked like Gina.
Terrible. All I got on this is Clint was trying hard. He was trying hard. He was doing the most, and I respect him for that. But I'm like, all of a sudden you're finding it in your soul that it's just not working for you to move into the apartment with him. Because ma'am, you live in the same. Oh Lord,
that's the one.
That's the one. That one's better.
Oh my. You live in the same building as the man. You like there's the difference between you two is maybe like 2 or 3 floors. But you feel uncomfortable to move in this apartment with him. But it wasn't uncomfortable for you to marry a stranger. For me, I can live with anybody. I'll move into your house, your apartment, your basement, you name it. I'll move wherever with your ass. But my ass is going to be uncomfortable with marrying a complete whole ass stranger. Yeah. So you found it okay to marry a stranger, but now it's problematic for you to live in the same apartment with him. And he even made it better for you to be like, we don't have to sleep in the same room. You can take the back room and you can take the main bedroom, and I'll take the back bedroom. But I think we need to live in the same place. And she still was like, I just don't feel it in my soul, in my body. And I'm just like, bitch, bye. Okay. Y'all have it.
She's still hanging on to the one comment that he made, like she can't get over that. It's so devastating. She can't move on with the relationship because she won't forgive him for that. That's a joke.
But do you think it's really the one comment, or she just not attracted to gingers?
Yes.
That was her out. She is lingering. I know I said I was going to shut up, but I'm sorry, Vanessa. You got me. You got me all flustered. That was her out by him saying I'm more gravitated towards the athletic, slender type. She is using that as her out, and I'll piggyback on that one. The way I'm glad that they rewind the clips because I forget shit. And I loved when he said that about the athletic slender type. I looked at it like he is just it was an innocent comment. He didn't say you're fat, you're not my type. He clearly was attracted to her when she walked down that aisle. He clearly was attracted to her on the honeymoon. The way she said, if you roll that clip back, and the way that she looked at him and was like, I don't usually gravitate towards gingers. Yeah, redheads there. Yeah, not my type. I don't do that. She said it with such disdain, and her facial expression was just, ugh. And I'm like, but you can't let this go about the slender athletic type. She grabbed onto that. And when the other ladies that are, kind of thick in their own right was like, against him, She grabbed onto that and she will not let that go. That's her out. She is going to continue to use that as her out instead of manning up and saying, I'm not attracted to him. He's not my type. I don't like what he said. I can't get over it. I can't see myself being married to this man. Move the fuck on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Agreed.
Chris?
Yeah, I mean, he's really trying. He's like, look, and even it's also interesting. He's like, look, let's just try. I mean, we kind of get along. You seem like a nice person. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But let's at least give it a try. Let's give the experiment what we both signed up for a try. What's his name? Olajuwon had an interesting comment about in the after party thing. Said, why doesn't she just give him a makeover?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't she cut his hair for him?
He's a hairdresser, right? I know.
Yeah,
I didn't even think of that.
Why wouldn't he just be like, to make him more attractive to her? If she works with gingers all the time, then give that man a haircut because that hair is kind of a moppy mess and it's kind of like I'm a traveling guy. Make it how you would want your husband's hair to be. And I'm surprised that she hasn't been like, can I give you a haircut? I'm surprised she hasn't offered that type of thing to make it like how she would want to. Maybe she has, but you know what I mean?
She lied to Pastor Cal because she said when she first saw him, she loved his beard and hair. Yeah. And on the honeymoon, she didn't. So she's a liar. Mm-hmm. She's basically not attracted to him. And like you said, Tanya, she grabbed onto that one thing, which was in retaliation. I don't care what anybody says. That was in retaliation to her hurting his feelings first. And nobody's acknowledging that.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, we deal with gingers all the time at my store, and we no, I mean,
I didn't know it was offensive.
That it's basically a slur for certain people, and then the way you said it, the disdain that you said it to him, definitely was there to cut him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, I thought he was not good enough for her. That her workaholic, but I'm like, why are you there? Mm-hmm. She does not want to be married. Unless she has like the other women have like this vision. But if you watch the show, I don't ever see any of these super fine guys ever on the show. So you were never going to get like, Brad Pitt. You're not going to get that on that show. Mm-hmm. But that's what they act like they're looking for. I don't know what it is. But her, she's just grimy. And then she tried to do those tears that did not come. You remember her voice got all choked up, and she just say you don't want to be there. Just go about your business and say you don't want to be there. She's crap. I don't like her.
Stop wasting our fucking time. Chris, back to what you said. You nailed that, because if she really was a clout chaser, like I've been calling her all this time, that's your perfect opportunity. You said it. That's your perfect opportunity to give clout or give some free advertisement to your salon. Come on, baby. Come to my salon. Let me do your hair. Mm-hmm. Let me show you how. I've told you when she kept saying, when they were having that fight in Jamaica, when she's like, oh, I work with gingers all the time. That I specialize in red hair and I can do all that. She should have said to him, baby, come to my salon. Let's go to the salon. Let me do your hair. Let me fix you up straight real quick.
Giant. Why don't make him brunette? Mm-hmm. Make him more attractive to you. If that's your husband, she's all in it for her salon. That's what it is.
That's all she's in it for. She's only in it for the benefit of herself professionally.
And she is. I mean, I know she's that esthetician glamour thing. I think she wants more of a slick dude. I mean, he's so organic and natural in sales, and he's definitely that California kind of type. I think she wants that slick, GQ to match
European
couple. Yeah, that's what she's
that European kind of type. Yep. But
he
can be that. He can be that because he said this man is not poor. Like, he is not poor. When he was talking about where he lived on the after party, when they were like, when Rudy Huxtable was like, you got your boats, but you're living in this high-rise apartment. She's like, I would have thought you would have had like a country house on the lake. And he didn't even blink. He was like, Oh, I've been there, done that. I had a house on the lake in Florida where my yachts, my boats, you listen, there's a big difference between a yacht and a boat.
If you have boats, more than one boat.
And he's got boats, and he names his boats. His boats have names. It ain't my little rowboat that I'm like, I want to go to Cape Cod or the Vineyard, and I'm just like on my little kayak and shit. It's a kayak. He's got engine number 1 and name engine number 2. He's got names on the back of his boats, so he ain't poor. And he's made it very clear. I had this house in Florida, and I had the whole slip knot, the deck that goes down to the water, that my boats were housed there. I did all that. But I just decided one day, again, trust fund baby. I just decided one day I just wanted to live in the city. Well, and now I'm in the high rise and been living here for 6 years.
It's true that he actually did come from California and set up in Nashville. Because if he had I wouldn't sell my house on the lake to go live in an apartment building.
Who's to say he sold it?
Huh?
Who's to say he sold it? He may not have sold it. That could be just old money on old money. That house could be sitting there collecting cobwebs.
Put it this way. I'm not worried about Clint after this.
Not me either. Because Clint is going to get him.
Let Gina do her little thing. He's trying. He's making a good attempt. But I am not worried about because someone's like, why is she being such a... Yeah.
And on top of the fact that he literally looks like Bradley Cooper. The actor? No?
The hairstyle, maybe.
Sorry.
But you kind of
looks like Bradley Cooper to me.
I mean, you would think that since he's a big fisherman, that he would like a largemouth bass woman. So,
see, on that note, you know what, Chris? On that note, listen to me right now. I gotta tap my third eye with you sometimes, brother. Because listen, I can't. All right, so are we good? Anybody else have anything to add to these couples?
Nope.
She's ugly.
Do you think that? So the Pastor Cal conversation was kind of halted. Do you think next episode he's going to say, come on, you're wasting my time. Are you going to ask for a divorce now? Because that was to Gina, right?
Yeah. I have a feeling that she is going to stay in the marriage, but still live at her apartment. And he's going to let her get away with that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But I feel like overall, the conversations, let's get into that real quick. The conversations with Pastor Cal this time, he was a little firmer than he usually is in the past. He could have went in a little bit more on Gina because he really needed to, especially, well, like he said, he did. I guess he went on both of them. He said, both of you are kind of doing this tit for tat pettiness thing or whatever. Well, you did this and you don't start off a relationship like that. And even with Arris and
Jasmine.
No, not Jasmine. Arris is with
Jasmine.
Arris is with Jasmine.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm thinking about Shaquille and Kirsten.
Yeah,
Even with
girl.
Even with those, he was kind of firm with Kirsten about, how she really needed to, like, you got to open up and give more to your husband. I actually appreciated him a little bit more in this episode than I have in the past. I just wish they would take this process that he's using now and use it during the selection period.
In the beginning, exactly.
But yeah, that was it.
But you can't. I mean, for Kirsten and Shaquille, on paper, they're perfect. Yeah. It's just her messing up everything.
Yeah.
When's Dr. Pepper coming in?
I hope next week. Well, next week is going to be the housewarming, so that's going to be interesting because you've got 4 out of the 5 couples that got some strife going on. So I'm going to say it's safe to assume that Nicole and Chris's housewarming is going to be fabulous. And I'm just going to sit back with my popcorn and my bottle of wine watching the fuckery that unfolds with the rest of the couples.
Yeah,
because we already know that Aris's cousin is going to show up and show her ass. But I'm curious as to how Clinton,
Jasmine in tears or something that they cue that up. So somebody made her cry. I think somebody says something to her in this next episode that either makes.
I think it's the cousin.
Is it?
The cousin is disrespectful to her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I would hope that Arris, if you really care about this woman, that you step up and say this, you can't do this.
He has to, as a man. If he doesn't check his cousin next episode with her disrespectful vernacular, then he ain't in it. Because no man, if that's your wife, regardless if you are not in love with her or not, that is still your wife. And you need to, anybody that comes for her neck, you need to check that.
But Aris's mother should probably say something to her too, because I would be like, stop. If that was my niece, I'd be like, why stop? If I'm giving this a chance, you need to stop.
We shall see.
Yeah.
All right, until next week. Don't hang up because I got questions after the thing. So thank you, everybody. We'll see y'all next week. Pop.